EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Martins here with your outlook for December 12th, 2022. It is Monday, and we're back to work. And the Monday video forecast is proudly sponsored by Kinsley's Family Market in Broadheadsville, Monroe County, Pennsylvania. Kinsley's is the world's largest ShopRite, and the ShopRite logo means they're all about food, they're all about savings, and they're all about you. Kinsley's is currently running their December promotion, Feast of the Seven Fishes. Whether this is your family's annual tradition or you want to start a new one, this epic seafood fest is an unforgettable way to celebrate Christmas Eve with family and friends. Steakhouse shrimp, stuffed mushrooms, seafood salad platter, and stuffed flounder, just to name a few. So stop by Kinsley ShopRite for your traditional holiday favorites. They are Kinsley ShopRite, located at 107 Kinsley's Drive in Broadheadsville, Monroe County, Pennsylvania, proud sponsors of the Monday video forecast. So we had a little bit of snow yesterday. Some areas had snow falling, not really sticking. Areas further north had some minor accumulations. And that is now offshore this morning. And we can see that right here exiting off to the east. And again, my pen is going wacky again. So I have to change this back to where it should be. And erase that. Try this again. This is that system right here moving away. There we go. I don't know what goes on with this pen every once in a while. But it does some crazy things. In its wake, we are going to be mostly cloudy today. There's still an upper-level trough sitting over the northeast, and because of that, we're going to have some clouds that are going to be drifting from north to south today. It's some stratocumulus. It's going to keep us more clouds than sun. Well, it doesn't mean you won't see the sun at all. You will, but if you look at the NAM, it indicates that. This is looking at the afternoon here, 4 o'clock. There are some parts that you're going to get sun too, but a lot of stratocumulus around that's going to give you some cloud cover, at least more clouds than sun throughout the day today. But once you get to the evening, this is going to very quickly dissipate, and you're going to become mostly clear overnight. This is actually a result of a temperature inversion that is forecast by some of the soundings that we're looking at this evening, and that's the reason for that. But no precipitation today. It's going to be on the chillier side of average. 35 to 44 is the temperature spread from northwest to southeast today. And then tomorrow, pretty much very similar, 36 to 42. But we are expecting mostly sunny skies here on Tuesday. And you can see that here. Nothing but mostly sunny skies. And then we're going to follow this up with a partly cloudy day on Wednesday. Here is Wednesday. You can see the system approaching from the west. This is the one from the at the end of the week we're going to have to keep a close eye on. I do think there's going to be another winter storm for the region, but this is going to have a little more juice to it. But it's also going to be one of those deals where you're going to have some areas get snow, some get a mix, some get rain, some get all three. So it's going to be one of those things where we have to wait and see how this evolves. And where this tracks is going to be key to what we get, okay? And the speed of the transfer from the primary low, which is actually cutting into the Great Lakes here. Here's the primary cutting into the Great Lakes, and you have a secondary that's going to form down here, and it's going to hand off its energy here. So here's a primary over the western Great Lakes region. You have a secondary that is going to form down here somewhere, right? So this is looking at Thursday morning. Not quite to our region yet. Most guidance is going to bring this in on Thursday afternoon, bring it in through the overnight, and then continue it on Friday. Again, there can be various precipitation types involved with this, but it's going to depend on the track of this. The European model I'm going to show you here is going to go right up I-95. If you have an I-95 track in this direction like this, that is not good for southeastern areas to see a mostly snow event. When you get in the far interior, however, up in these areas, you can get a decent amount of snow with that kind of track. So that's what we're looking at. Again, our coverage area is not just in your backyard. A lot of people go, I'm not going to get any snow out of this. Well, we cover the eastern two-thirds of Pennsylvania, all of New Jersey, all of Delaware, and the northern and eastern shore of Maryland, northern Maryland and eastern shore of Maryland. So that's a pretty big area. And part of our area is going to get hit with a snowfall out of this, it looks like. At least that's the way it's trending. So here is European model and what it does. And it starts off the interior, again, as snow. See what this low is? It's over south central Virginia here as we get into the overnight hours on Thursday night. But you can see, you get up to I-78 point southeast, you're looking at rain. You might have some snow there initially on the European model. Then it's primarily rain. And it even changes over to rain across the northern areas before this turns out. And that's because this is tracking right over, very near, close to I-95, because from Philadelphia, next frame right over New York City. Okay, so in that case, you're going to have the wintry stuff confined to the very far northern areas. And this is the uncertainty we're talking about with the track and the speed of the transfer from one to the other. There are other models that are showing different things. Here is the GFS. Similar timing, comes in during the afternoon on Thursday. And it tracks up southeast of I-95, so this gets more people involved. Again, if this track is more like this instead, I mean, that little bit of a difference instead of the European model, which is doing that, that little bit of a difference is going to bring this snow line further south and east, okay, at least initially. So in this case, I-78 is very much in the snow corridor here, at least initially before any changeover occurs. And then we move this forward from this point. There is a little bit of, it is showing at the end here, getting some rain all the way up to like Lehigh Valley, northern New Jersey in this track. But with a further east track and a little more progressive of a track, you can get some more snow out of this in this situation, okay? Again, it's only Monday. We have a couple days to look at this before we get into details. And there's the third option, which is the Canadian model that ran this evening. This is the latest runs of each of them that I'm showing you here. That brings this up here earlier. It comes in on Thursday morning, and this comes in as sleet. A little bit of snow, then some sleet and freezing rain. This is a big ice maker on the Canadian model, but this is going to take a very similar track that the European model is doing, which is right over 995, and that's an inland track. So we'll change everything over to rain here in this case, but you get a lot of icing in this situation. That's something we really don't want. I'd rather have the snow if we're going to have a choice of what we want, because ice is not a good thing, right? So it's all going to come down to the track of the system. So trends over the last couple of days since I last did the video has been to push us a little bit further northwest, a little bit more inland. That does not mean that that can't trend back southeast in future runs. We don't know what's going to happen yet. We're just have to wait and see, just to see. But I do think there's going to be some kind of wintry component to this. And for the interior areas, at least, would have the best chance at seeing some significant snowfall out of it. And I don't just mean like an inch or two. We're talking about the potential for, a 3 to 6, 6 to 10. I mean, there is that kind of potential with this. It's going to have the moisture. It's just a matter of whether or not it's going to fall as snow and for how long because of the track and uncertainty and some other things. So we'll continue to follow this throughout the week. And then this is a Thursday into Friday deal on every piece of guidance. The Canadian gets gets this moisture out of here on Thursday morning because it came in earlier, Friday morning. But everything else is kind of like Friday afternoon or early evening before it finally leaves. So it could be an all-day showers deal on Friday if it takes that inland track or whatever wintry mess that we're dealing with at that time. So we're going to continue to follow these each day throughout the week with the new updates. And after this point, once the system exits, we are going to be cold again, getting in highs in the maybe 40 or less. It looks like it's going to be trending downward into the 30s as this trough settles in. This is the pattern-changing storm that's going to get us into this cold temperature regime for a very long time. It looks like it's going to be sticking around for a while. We're just colder than average. But it does look like it's, at first look right now for the weekend, it does look like it's dry. Partly cloudy Saturday, mostly sunny on Sunday. We'll continue to follow that throughout the week as well. I'm EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Marchus. That is your outlook for December 12th, 2022. Have a great Monday.